Welcome back to our channel. I am one of your hosts, Jdub, YouTube's #1 commenter, and this is my lovely wife,
Miss Sabrina Soul.
and we're here to do a review on one of our favorite shows, which is Love Is Blind. This is season 10. We're gonna try to fit both episodes in, which is 1 and 2, but we're just gonna see the length of this video. If not, you're gonna have to catch us on part 2. So like I said, just welcome to our channel, and we're just excited about doing this because this is one of our favorite shows that we do. We talk about it and we say, hey, why not we just record it and give it to y'all? So at this point, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. Now, we might look like doctors. We got the glasses on and everything. However, we are not any type of psychologists, relationship experts. We just like to give you the review from our point of view, and we may even throw in a couple of our life experiences in there just to help you or to give you our point of view, because y'all love the delivery. That's why y'all here. So we're gonna do it.
Here we go.
All right, so we go ahead and get started. Besides us being your favorite host, America's favorite host, we got Nick Lachey and what's his wife? I forgot his name. Oh, Nick and Vanessa. Nick and Vanessa Lachey. They've been actually hosting this show throughout the duration of this program, and they're back. And where they're at, they're in Ohio. That's the state of the famous Ohio State OHIO type of situation, because that's all you hear. The guys are yelling, the girls are yelling, and it's a situation. So right on this part, they waste no time. They get a few backstories, but they go right in. They like, the pods are open, we're ready to go, and it always starts so magical, so hopeful. Like, oh, these people, they're gonna find love, they're gonna find their forever. It's such a happiness, but they want to test it each and every time. Is love really blind? So I don't know. Let's go ahead. We from the very beginning, I guess I got to let you know, when you see all the people in the room, don't get connected to them, because at this point, just like the people in your graduating high school class, most of them ain't gonna be around. They're only gonna focus on a few key people. So don't get locked in, because when we go over the reviews where, hey, this is introducing the cast, you might not even see half of them. So I would say let's go into the first date. The first date is with Jordan, and we got Amber, and rightfully so. They start off this season how they started off last season, and that's funny that they have another Jordan. So Jordan and Amber, they're both 33, but Amber is a single mom. And for me, this is my opinion, that's kind of a no-no in this Love Is Blind thing, because you're trying to put a whole lot of moving parts together, and now you're including a kid who now has, I guess, a new step parent. And that could be really shaky. I'm not saying that single parents don't deserve love, but this setting, I just don't know too much about. They seem to be getting along and everything, but we're gonna really see about that. That's gonna be something to look at. But let's just go into the next one. When we're looking at Vic and Christine. Now, this couple, I can say, when you can say the energy, like, fill the room from the beginning. Now, I can't tell you that this union is going to work out, but I know chemistry when I see it, and this is it. This is absolutely it. So, Vic and Christine, the conversation is flowing. It's almost like they can see each other through the walls, which is just matching up. It's making sense. It's just going along, and I'm like, this is gonna be something real big, real big. It didn't seem like a likely couple, but they got it. They picked this one. I don't know if they put them together. I don't know if they just happened to choose, but it was like just magic. So Victor, he's a professor at a college, and Christine, she's a speech pathologist. So in a sense, they're both in some type of education. So it pretty much seems like they're aligning and everything. What did you think of their connection when you saw? What was your first impression?
I'm trying to make it happen.
You trying to make it happen? You trying to make the connection happen?
I'm trying to.
They already made it.
They already made
it.
the connection.
Yeah, the connection is made.
Here we go. Goodness gracious.
Okay.
Excuse me. So I feel like that their connection happened really, really fast. It was like 1 minute I was watching them get to know each other and they were like saying each other's names, and the next thing I feel like they were saying I love you. And I just was like, wow. But the crazy thing is even though I felt like it was kind of fast, I was here for it. Like the energy seemed genuine, the conversation didn't seem forced. And I just feel like that they came into this. I feel like both of them at this point of the show right now, I feel like both of them came in with intention. They knew exactly what they wanted. They found someone that they felt like they were compatible with without seeing them. And they were like, you know what? I'm going to focus on this one person. I ain't going to be all over the place and trying to sell dreams over here and trying to do that over there. And, they felt like that they were their persons from what, or the information that they were given to each other. And they were like, you know what? I'm going to lock in, and move with intention. And I really like that about them. I was a huge fan of them from the very, very, very beginning. So now I'm just interested in seeing like how it's going to go.
Yeah, you can't pay for that kind of chemistry.
Facts.
So I guess we could just move on to the next dating segment.
I'm trying to find a picture of Christine. I'm sorry. You move forward. You move.
Okay, so we're gonna keep moving forward, and we're gonna go with the segment with dealing with our Chris. Chris is 32, and he's a software salesman. I think that's the second person because Jordan is in the same software sales or whatever, and he has a date with Jessica, and Chris is that kind of guy. Reminds me of that guy from Married at First Sight. I don't remember his name, but where he had to go to Burning Man. He was this extremist. He likes to jump out of planes. And this is that same type of guy. He's in triathlons and he does all kind of extreme where he feels like he has to push his person to the next level. And I can agree with that in some way where like maybe you can motivate your partner to step out and do different things, but not push like boundaries and comfort levels just because you're comfortable with it. I'm not a fan of that at all. And my take is that when somebody's trying to do that over the top stuff, that's their passion, that's their thrill, and that's what makes them up. It feels like they're kind of trying to overcompensate for something, like something is lacking. And as far as with Chris, his first date was with Jessica, and she is actually divorced. And when I just talked about the single parent thing, I don't have any issue with any of the contestants like being divorced, because I think that being divorced can, if you have learned from the lessons of the divorce, it can bring some type of insight where you wouldn't get just being single people, even though each relationship is different. So that I don't have a problem with that, and I like that connection. They seem to fit, but it's still really early or whatever. And also, Chris had a date with he had a date with Bree, aka Breezy. They always got to have a cast member with those nicknames. Oh, there you go. There we go, Christina.
I'm thinking that was Bree. Okay. Goodness gracious.
They do kind of look alike though, but I think Bree has described, she has like a little softer face than Breezy. Breezy is like the softball player who's an athlete. He's just a slight little tomboyish or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, either way, I think Chris makes a good fit unless they have a problem with a short man. Don't want.
But lucky for him, when she stood up, or when they were, we're not there yet. He didn't look that, that short, but.
Well, yeah, if you're comparing Jessica, Jessica's short. So, and at the same time, that really don't mean nothing. A lot of women still prefer a tall man, but she seems pretty much easygoing, and she's not really focused on, I guess, say like some of the, let's say, outside characteristics, So, but so actually you found that's Breezy, that, like I said, every every year a cast member has to have some type of nickname like Sparkle Meg. So yeah. So either way, like I said, Chris to me would fit with either one. You know, it's still early in the process, and we don't know which way. Did you see any connections between Chris and his two dates?
Nope.
Nope. None at all. Okay.
I felt like that with Bree and Chris, it was more like, you like the color blue, I like the color blue. Like, you love softball, I played softball. Oh my God, we're perfect for each other. Let's get married tomorrow. Are you free tomorrow? Let's go skiing. Like, we should get married at the... Wasn't that Chris?
I think that was Connor, but yeah, because that's the next day. So you know, I mean, yeah, because Connor was that kind of guy. He's the way I best remember, he's the star guy. Everything you do, I'm going to give you a star. I'll give you. You do your hair in the morning, I'll give you a star.
So that speaks a lot about how I feel about Bree. I just felt like she was just connecting on purpose, like with everybody she was talking to. Like it was just like, come on, man, you know what I mean? So that's what it was giving to me with her.
Okay, with Connor being a account manager, he's really let's say he sells bulk trash dumpsters or whatever, and in real life he came across as just that, like a salesman, because a salesman's goal is to just wrap up the deal, and that's what he's going to do. Say, oh, you like to drink water, I like to drink water, let's go ahead and wrap this up, we're going to get married and at the ski lodge, and let's just get this done and close the deal. He's a closer, and he came off that way with everybody. It's more so, I'm not looking for substance, let's just go ahead and get to Mexico. I want my trip to Mexico, wrap the deal up, we'll get married wherever you want to, let's close the deal. And
he was the male version of Bree.
Right. Yeah, definitely can go with that. Yeah, so at that point it was just a situation where, you know, that's like a cut and paste kind of guy, because at any point, like even when Connor went over to Emma, and now Emma's a whole other thing in itself. But what I call great TV, and why I say it's great TV, because it's entertainment. There's a lot of layers there, because Emma's life is super complex. Well, I'm not saying her life, maybe her outlook on life is super complex, because she's got a lot going on in this situation. Because even so, I think all of them be like that, because not only you're right, Bree agreed with Connor. I like the stars thing, and then Emma said, I'm going to give you 1 star. Everybody just took on his personality. They're giving star merits, you know, out like they're in class. But Emma is a Asian lady. She's a retail merchandiser, and she was adopted by a white family. And as you can see in the picture, she's been through extreme medical surgeries, multiple. She said she's had 10 surgeries up until the age of 7. And at that point, on top of that, her condition, because it's possibly has could be melanoma on her skin. So she's kind of weary of having children. She's not sure. And not only that, because you see her arm had some, I guess, how do you say, like some injuries to it, or through the medical procedures?
I think it's like just scarring.
Okay, like scarring. Okay, so she's really self-conscious about her appearance. And, you know, that all that comes out to, like, are we sure that Emma is ready for this process? It feels like she needs some time to heal. What was your impression of good Emma?
Absolutely. Her arm is healed way more than her heart is, in her brain, in her. Like, Emma, to me, she needs to go find herself. She needs to go love herself. She needs to figure out how she is and what she wants in this lifetime for real. And I mean that for herself, because she doesn't know. She's clueless. She's out here trying to find someone to love her when she doesn't even love herself.
Wow.
So, you know, it's so unfortunate, because I love love, and I feel like everyone deserves love. But in her situation, she just needs to go heal. She's really not happy with herself. She's not happy with where she is in life. She's, you know, like you said, she's very self-conscious. And I just feel like she needs to, it doesn't matter you know, it's people out here with no arms and no legs. And then I'm not trying to diminish her situation, but I just feel like it's people out here living their best life. And they're like, oh, I'm good. You know, take me for who I am and how I am. And it's just what it is. And you're going to get what, and they're living a very fruitful life. And they some of them are married and then had kids and, you know, and they're so happy with the skin that they're in. And she's not. You know, and I just really wish that, you know, she didn't come on a television show looking for something that she can't even give to herself.
Yeah, because and let's say every negative action, this is what we get here. Not that is anything wrong with expressing emotions, but she's constantly breaking down. Whereas like there's a lot of trauma going on. Like, and even one aspect I forget, like she even revealed just a bit that she might even have abandonment issues because she was actually left on a step.
Yep.
At
3 months
at a
old,
train
3
station
years
as a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was. Yep, and that was a thing. So
yeah, facts. She really needs to go seek some therapy, and you know, and really try to figure this thing out, because if she goes into a relationship and you know she has children, like we don't know how she's going to be with her children. And people were like, you know, she'll be a great mom. I mean, we haven't gotten there yet, but it's like how you know, I'm sure she has a lot of love to give, but she got to give it to herself first.
amen. So let's find Kevin. Let's find Kevin Kevon, but it's spelled Kevin
Oh,
Kevan.
oh,
Do we have
geez.
Kevin?
I think so.
Is Kevin in the house?
Yes, he's in the house somewhere.
Kevin in the building. So let's start with Kevin. He's a 31-year-old. He's a realtor, and he has two connections with Kia and Tyler. And to me, Kia and Tyler are like polar opposites. You know, they're both 30, but they seem light ages between each other. Kia comes off like super mature, and I really like their conversation that they had. But as far as with like Tyler feels like she's acting her age. There's some still growth and maturity that's going on. And just in this excuse me, just in that short conversation that he had with Kia, it revealed a lot of things with both of them. Like I said, when you hear Kia talk to Kevin, I almost want to say Kevon, but his name is Kevin. Yeah, Kevin. But when they talk, you can see that Kia has to pull information out of Kevin. He's like very, let's call it surface level, and he admits that he's a guy who needs like motivation. That was something that he explained that his ex did for him. Of course, after Kia asked him, what is one of the things that you learned from the last relationship? And he absolutely needs motivation. He needs a push. He needs someone. He needs a lot of support. And at this point, I feel like it could be problematic, I guess, even for him, when we were talking about people who are like ready to love or ready to go into a relationship. I just don't get that impression from him. From him talking to Kia, it almost feels like she's his relationship coach.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say that impression, you know, their interaction came? What did you see?
You know, actually from the very first moment when they interacted, I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought, you know, it was just someone there looking for love, and it was blind, and he's looking for a wife and she was looking for a husband. And I just feel like, you know, it was just genuine at this point of the show. I didn't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, oh, okay, that's cute. Like, you know, they're making a connection. That's cute. But honestly, it was nothing for me to write home about. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about his other date, Tyler? Let's get into Tyler.
I could tell that she trying to look for her. She wasn't for no games. She was looking for her husband. And I don't think he was ready for that, because he was just kind of floating through. He like, this the first day, you know, we chilling, whatever, you know, like, what's your favorite color? Like, that's just what I was getting. And she's like, look, I'm intentional. I want you to be my husband. You know, like, you trying to move, like, we moving, like, where you from? How many kids you want? Like, yeah, these are my ovulation dates. Like, she was ready. That's how she came in. And, you know, and I think that he probably wasn't used to that. He just looks like someone that he probably never met a woman like her before. So he's just taking it like slow stride, slow burn, like he normally does. And, you know, she's a different breed. And, you know, like I said, right now it's still so early. But that's how they came in kind of strong. And I like that because I felt like that she was pushing him into different limits that he's not used to being at.
Yeah, he's that guy that wants to. He needs to be pushed. And with Tyler, like you said, she's super intentional. Yeah, she states that she's definitely a go getter. She climbed up their corporate ladder, but at this point, she's trying to do everything she needs to do to find her husband. And I think that's the right idea, because this is not the love. This is Love is Blind. You know, they're supposed to be engaged and get married in just in a short time. So you got to come with it. You got to know what show you're on. So it made sense to me. So let's go back to if we can find Vic and Christina again, because they're having a little dinner date in the pods. And at this point, ever since they've been talking, you could tell that the compatibility was off. You know, was off the level. We can go back to an old one. Yep. You can just tell that at this point the compatibility is just off the charts, and they were like just straight locked in. And not only were they locked in, they found out that they both were locked up for marijuana possession. You know, at a young age. And yeah, you know, that's something that you compatible on. They both got locked up, and Christina did ask, well, you know, you've been in trouble for marijuana before. Any other troubles? He's like, nothing serious.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Nothing too crazy. And then she should have had a follow-up question. What you define as crazy? Yes. What are the other charges, sir?
Yes,
because this is my only charge. I got mine expunged. What's your situation?
Right, because nothing crazy, like we discussed before, like crazy, you're crazy, my crazy could be two different crazies.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, I accidentally ran over a cop and hit two kittens and set a church on fire, but I was young. I was young and I was out of control, but that wasn't too crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, so... But other than that, like I said, or we both said, we've been very pleased with their, I'm gonna say, with their connections. And when they talk deeper, we learn both have like a troubled life going on. Whereas, I mean, you can count both of them in there. Where at their homes they're dealing with drug, alcohol, domestic DV, and at that point it just felt like. A trauma bonding experience going on. And that was a little concerning because sometimes, even if you maybe say you're not that person, sometimes those traits can show up later. And I'm a little concerned, but like I said, so far so good. So far so good. So what do you think? Are they ready for love, or are they two lovebirds?
I think they're two lovebirds. Of course, you know, this is a very expedited process, and you know, I have faith in them. I feel like that it is so new. I feel like, you know, they're both ready to love, and you know, it's still so soon, but I do feel like that they should have asked more questions, especially her, you know, with the whole, you know, nothing's crazy. I feel like she should ask more questions. I feel like in real life, she is so engulfed in him and in his voice and all that stuff. And she wants to be loved so bad. Like she's like overlooking some things when it comes to Vic. So, you know, I could be wrong, but I just feel like it's so much more to him that she does not know. And I don't know, I just feel like she should just really like ask more questions. She's just in love with the thought of being in love and not really, you know, getting really like really deep. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I don't understand when people say that. Like, I don't want to go too deep so soon. Like, you're preparing to be engaged and be married. It's time to go deep real fast,
Yeah,
as deep as you can get, because you need to find out what's going on. And
absolutely.
I think one thing I did like about, without, I guess, describing personal features, they got into the questions where, what is your usual type? And and both describe really it's not. They don't have certain types, and they dated people all outside of any gamut or any stereotype. So they're both open in knowing that, hey, you know, like Michael Jackson is black or white, is W or B, it don't matter,
Hmm.
it's all good. So that, because that could have been a problem once they met each other and like, whoa, I didn't know.
Hmm. And she actually prefers that
Right,
she dates someone that's actually dated more than just one race. So
right, right, absolutely.
yeah.
So, well, let's go to the next dating situation. We're going with Steve and Emma. And Steve and Em have a conversation, and Steve, what I was just talking about, that he gave a disclaimer, like, I just want to let you know we're
Is it
talking.
Steve?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
we're talking, but I don't want to go too deep. I know we're getting engaged in 2 days and married in 7, but let's not go too deep. Let's keep it light. Let's keep it on a light situation. And ironically, Steve didn't want to go deep diving in the situation, but Steve ended up going deep diving. He got into the conversation with Emma about like having children, and that he wasn't. It really didn't matter to him whether they adopted or not, but he can tell Emma has some pause about having children, and not knowing her of all of 2 days, and saying that she's going to make a great mom, even though she doesn't want to be a mom or has a lot of reservations about it. It was just like, there was not just only a love is blind wall up. Emma started to put that wall up between them, where like she got like really uncomfortable. And just like we talked, Emma has some issues that she just hasn't worked out at all. So at this point, Steve, in I don't know, Steve's a little questionable to me, and it just in his things he say. Well, he said, "Well, look here, girl. This is what we're gonna do. You want to go light? We're gonna go light. We're gonna go light. So let's just talk about something light. Let's talk about your first kiss. Let's talk about that." And Steve thought he was going light, but he actually was getting real heavy with Emma, because Emma describes like her first kiss situation. She realized that it was in high school, and it wasn't some beautiful experience that Steve was trying to explain. Like, we went to AMC movie theaters, our lips touched when we touched popcorn, and it was just a beautiful moment and all that going on. But Emma, you can see Emma's mood just started to go down and down and down and down. It was almost like it was triggering to her. And then he just even went even further. I don't know. He's not in the same room as Emma, but he couldn't read the room that Emma was in. He was like, well, do you feel comfortable telling me about your losing your virginity experience? I was like, is that a good subject?
Hmm.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't know. That's just me. So that triggered Emma even more. And she's pretty much saying, like, hey, the guys I dealt with, it's no love story here. These guys didn't even care about me. So the way you look at it and the way I look at it is just two different things going on. So it just got, like I said, it got worse and worse and worse. And not only that, like I said, Steve can't read the room. He kept going on about, my favorite love story is The Notebook. And I know you've seen The Notebook, and that's how he speaks matter of factly. I know you've seen The Notebook. She's like, no, I've never seen The Notebook. You haven't seen The Notebook? Every girl I've had and
Mm,
been with
mm, mm,
has watched The Notebook. You haven't seen The Notebook where the little boat floats by the house in the
mm,
river? She's like, no, I haven't seen The Notebook. Well, you haven't seen a notebook of a notebook? And
mm.
she's like, Steve, I don't like the movie. I haven't seen the movie. My experience with people romantically is different from yours. And from there on, she's letting Steve know, like, hey, I'm a little uncomfortable, like the pressure you're putting on me about this. And like, Steve was like, just wait a minute, you're gonna flip this on me? You're deflecting. Like, I did something here. I didn't do anything to you. And he got really defensive with her. And what I can say is, even though Emma's situation is layered, she did express herself in that moment of being uncomfortable. What did you think about that little situation? It was a lot.
I it
It
and
was a
that's
lot.
exactly what I was gonna say.
Whew.
It was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that this was like tick 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 boom, like it was gonna happen. I didn't know how it was gonna happen and how it was gonna blow up, but it absolutely was gonna happen sooner or later. I knew from the very beginning that they were not compatible. I'm glad it happened. I feel like, though, honestly, with her, she's so damaged and she's so sensitive that anything will trigger her, honestly. And he just is the type of guy that he is not sensitive. He's just out there, he's outgoing, he's outspoken, he says anything, he doesn't think before he speaks, and it's like you put them two together, it's like bound to fail. And honestly, in her defense, like, I get it. He was a bit much. Like, no, he was a lot much, to be honest with you. And the whole making the faces and like like, what are you talking, what is she like,
Every time she paused,
yeah,
he would fill in her sentences. I mean, like
yeah,
he was like listening to respond or just like hurrying it up, like, come on. And he's like,
yeah,
you can't see me through the wall. Like, but she could feel the energy and the way he was
absolutely,
behaving.
absolutely,
Like, ugh, ugh.
right. And in this scene, it really, the first thing I thought to myself is, this about to be somebody's husband?
Yes.
What the holy heck are we talking about right now? So a man like him shows me and would make me feel like I never want to ever get married. Okay, he's definitely not ready to love. I'm glad that this failed. I'm glad that we were able to see him, Steve, for exactly who he was, and I hope that he doesn't end up with anybody, honestly, because if he would have ended up with Emma, because they would have been two pressed people trying to make it to the end, they both would have ended up being very damaged in the end, even more than what they already are. So
yeah,
that's just my thought.
so Emma did really pretty much sent him packing respectfully, just saying like, I'm not, we're not for each other, respectfully.
Yeah.
And
he looks so sad about it. That was
like,
the
what
crazy
what did I
thing.
do?
Like really? Oh, okay.
Really? I just wanted to know I just wanted to compare my notes with your notes from the notebook and find out all your first sexual experience. But when I had my sexual experience, we had sex all around the room the next day. And I'm like,
listen.
I'm like, what?
Read the room. But he can't read the room because he can't read.
Oh yeah, there you go. He can't.
The room was his room. So yeah, yeah. Poor Tink.
So another heartbreak for Emma, and pretty much that was the end of the episode, with the exception of now we have some type of medical emergency. So yeah, that was it for episode 1. Do we continue, or we wait for you? We wait to do episode 2.
I say we keep going. We're here.
Let's go. Here we go.
We're here.
Okay, this is Love is Blind season 10 review, episode 2. So like I said, we picked right up. Thank you for that commercial break. We picked right up where a castmate had a situation where her eyes were a little dry. She was looking for some type of
relief.
Yeah, relief. She maybe some Visine or something like that, but instead she picked up with some nail glue. I've seen both bottles. They're similar, but they're not.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's a soft top, and I think even the nail glue has like a hard top where you gotta pull it, and it's just different. So I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe it's so many women in there. There's just so much product laying around. I don't know how this happened.
Absolutely.
But I'm so glad that she's okay with the having nail glue drops in her eyes. She's just a little uncomfortable, but the staff acted accordingly and got her out of there, and she's all right.
Yep.
And guess what? I don't even know her name.
I think it's like Elisa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But guess what? That's not the high note. I know we're talking about a medical emergency, but the high note, the high note is that we get ready to have an engagement.
Whoop, whoop.
An engagement's going on.
Whoop, whoop.
So we're going with it's going to be Vic and Christine. They're finally going to get to meet, and you know, like I said, it's no different from their time when they first had the conversations. They even play back all the different reels and conversations that they have, and for what we can see, they have been constantly and continuously and consistently connecting. And I guess this is the next step to make sense. This is an accelerated process. Guess what? It's time to get engaged. They don't want to wait no more. They don't want to wait. And you see, when they meet each other, the energy is real. I know energy. Call me Mr. Energy. This energy is real. Like I said, there's no prediction of what's going to happen for the season, but they were like, you could see, you could feel the happiness that when they saw each other, they felt like they didn't want to part. They're like they were inseparable, you know. And to me, it looks very promising. So we're going to see, but this is what it's supposed to look like. What was your feelings when you saw this beautiful union?
I felt like this is what two people that's ready to love, this is what it should look like. I thought that it was very genuine. I felt that the energy was magnetic. I felt like they were supposed to be together. I felt like I can't wait to see more. I felt like finally, and I hope that they could make it all the way to the end, even if they don't marry each other and they fall out or whatever. I want to see this love story unfold. That's the kind of energy that it was giving. Yeah, it was truly magnetic. Like they looked like they were absolutely happy to see each other, unlike 80% of the couples that when the doors open and then they see each other, half of them look like that they still can't see when they're halfway down the runway. They still kind of like be squinting and like they can't believe that this person is this ugly or this person is this, you know, not what I like, or this person is so short, or this person is golly, you know, just very unhappy. But literally the doors open up for these two, and it really looked like they were very pleased in how they looked to each other. But still, I feel like the love is so strong, or their feelings were so strong for each other that, and I could be wrong, but in this one instance, love was blind. They really did like fall for each other.
Yeah, so magical, so whimsical, you know. And I would, like you said, I would love to see more moments like this, because
Me
that will
too.
make the show take it so much higher, because this is what you want to see. Like I said, we can't
Absolutely.
guarantee, we don't, in life, none of us know what exactly is going to happen, but this
Facts.
is how you want to start out, like
Yes.
strong, the love, the energy, like, yes, I choose you, no doubt. I'm so happy from our choices.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want a person to be, I guess, looking unsure and uncomfortable and awkward, and like you gotta guess what's wrong. You're okay. No, no, you're beautiful. I'm sure. You know, yeah, none of that.
Yeah.
So let's get back to Emma. You know, Emma, she dumped Steve. She let him go, and now she's focusing on her two connections, which is Mike and Connor. And at this point, now, I'm gonna say Emma, she's feel like she's rolling out the healthcare and adoption package. She got to let the people know. Guess what? They found me on the train station bed, and I was 3 months old, and I was adopted by a white family, and I got scars on my arm. Because guess what? She told Steve all of this, and she does
Yep.
not know if he's going to run back and tell everything. So she's
Absolutely.
giving everybody this cut and paste story,
Yep.
and maybe adding certain details with it. And just like I guess both of her connections, the problem comes in is that they both want children, and they both try to convince her to have children, even though Emma has that real concern that, hey, like, you heard the story I told you, that I really have health issues. I don't want to pass this on to our child. I'm nervous about that. And at this point, even Mike tried to pull out a story like, well, you know, at this point, you make a great mother. There's no doubt about that. You know why? Because you're a fighter, and we're both fighters. And I'm gonna tell you a story that's very similar with ours. With me, when I was born prematurely, and I flatlined, and I fought my way out of there, and I saw the light, and I came back because I knew I was going to marry you one day. So that's why you're going to make a good mother. So, you know, I don't think it's a good idea, either one, Mike or Connor, trying to convince this woman that she should be a mother when clearly she doesn't want to. Yeah. What you think about all that?
I think she absolutely went into the pause, because after her whole situation about, you know, like, oh, I had to end it with Steve, it's not gonna work, and everyone came up to her and was hugging her like, you didn't do nothing wrong, girl, it's not your fault, it was all him, girl, you deserve better than him, and da 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 da, or what, you know, all that. So which was a lot, but you know, after all that happened, you know, one of the comments that she made, and I don't know if you would call this, is it damage control? I mean, it's not really damage control because he didn't really do no damage, but in her head, she felt like that it would have done damage. It would have made her other connections look at her not as, you know, favorable.
So damage control is correct.
Absolutely. Yes. So she literally made a comment to the ladies and was like, I don't even know if I want to go back in there, or something to that effect. Like, I don't even know if I can go back in there, you know. So literally, she didn't waste any time. She went to the producers, hey, I need you to go gather up Connor, and I need you to go gather up Chris, and I need to have a Mike, and I need to have a date with them. And yeah, and literally first thing she did was, you know, she grabbed her tissues, you know, she sat on the couch and she went in to explain to them her situation about, you know, her skin, and well, she's already kind of told them about the children, but you know, she went and told them both, I guess, about her situation, because honestly, she was kind of scared that Chris was going to do it. And yeah.
Right.
Mike
and Connor.
No. Chris,
oh, you said Chris. Oh, you mean Chris going
to go back and
tell? Okay,
yeah.
Okay, got what you said. Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah, if that's what you want to call damage control, that's what she was doing. So
that was the perfect phrase.
Yeah,
that was the perfect term.
And in this very moment, this is when Connor realized Emma was not the one for him. It was all over his face, even though he gave the whole spiel like, oh my God, you would be a great mother, and you would be this, and you're amazing. Oh, I don't care about that. In this moment, he knew he was gonna pick Bree. Period. Point blank.
Boom.
Period.
Okay, so let's go to the next day. We got Kevin and Tyler. They have a date, and Kevin shares with Tyler that his mother has a major health crisis, and I'm assuming that he's telling her that because Tyler is all business. She's like, so what's going on? You know, you having issues or thoughts about moving? Because apparently one lives in, I'm gonna make up a city in Cincinnati. One lives in Ohio. One lives in Cincinnati. One lives in somewhere else in Ohio. I don't even know two cities in Ohio. Ohio. But Kevin's more like, well, you know, my mom had like some type of freak medical situation when he was 18. She had some type of infection in her body, and it caused her to pass out, and she actually lost her foot. So, you know, I get the feeling like Chris, now I'm saying Chris, that Kevin with an A, he has a hard time expressing himself for whatever reasons. And he's like, well, I could move to your city, and maybe I couldn't, but I got my mom, I don't know. And, you know, Tyler pretty much wants to know, like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. If you're my husband, I'm here for you, and I want to know what's going on. And at this point, we don't know exactly where they are, because Tyler's coming on strong. Kevin's not disclosing, you know, he's not disclosing much. And at this point, he's allowed Tyler to choose him. He says, hey, you know what? We don't have any issues. We can do this. I don't have any strong connections. It's just you. And that was very interesting, because we already know that Kevin is in talks. What's the lady name? Huh?
Kia.
Oh, Kia. Yeah, he's got a connection, or what we thought he had a connection with Kia, and then pretty much Tyler's like, well, oh, that's all I need to know. So we can just have another conversation later. And Tyler goes back into the ladies' headquarters and lets them know, like, hey, guess what? I might be engaged. You know, and also now Tyler's new mission is there anyone? Are you in connection or talks with Kevin with an A? Just want to make sure, because that's like my man. We get ready to get engaged, and you know, it's at this point now. Kevin really feels like, hey, this woman has chose me. Now I got to break it off with Kia. So, what did you take from that meeting?
Yeah, because he pretty much told Tyler, like, yeah, I got other connections, but they not as strong as you. You know, you my strongest connection. Like, I don't really mess with them like that. I mess with you. Like, they cool or whatever. They just filling up a space, but you the one. You the one. You know what I'm saying? So she literally left out of there like, my man, my man, my man. Okay. And then when Kia went up in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know if we're that far, but
we're about to get there.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so when they were in there, yes. So he definitely reassured Tyler, having her believe, he sold her a dream. That's what that was. Having her believe, like, yeah, you my number one. We can definitely make this happen. You know, but also too, she's saying all the right things. She's saying all the right things, and she's saying all the right things because she might really be ready. She might be ready for her husband, and she really feels like that. She sees that in Kevin. You know, it's just it doesn't really look like he has really solidified anything. I feel like he was trying to sell a dream. She bought a dream. Honestly, she bought a dream that he wasn't really trying to sell. Because he really wasn't trying to sell anything, because in real life he really doesn't know how to communicate. So, you know, yeah. But in this scene, of course, we don't know that he really don't know. So but we all about to find out, everybody.
Yeah, I think because he actually said the words, I don't have any strong connection. And she's like, well, that's it for me. He didn't solidify anything. He just said that. And actually it wasn't true, or maybe it was, I don't know, in his mind, because we don't know what's in his mind. He's failing to do that. So his next date is gonna be with Kia. And with Kia, that meeting they had, I guess it was supposed to bring some type of clarity. But for me, when the way Kia was talking, the question she was asking, she was reassuring, like, hey, you don't have to feel bad about choosing connections. That's what we're here for. This is what we're supposed to do. And it was more like she persuaded Kevin to continue to explore all his connections. And this is actually why I would say, like, Kevin, to me, is an unsure man. You know, he doesn't look like he's ready to lead. I understood Kia's approach, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's like you're trying to convince somebody to be your person. That really has to come from him. His heart isn't in it, to me. So, you know, it should be, you know, it's something they should decide together. What you think about what Dr. Kia came in and did?
Yep, I thought that she absolutely is moving like, I'm going to put the ball in your court and I want you to man up and I want you to come get me. Like, I'm not chasing no man. If you want me, here I am. I'm telling you, here I am. But I'm not chasing no man. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you the open door to still go and be. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I was Kevin, I would have been like, oh, she must got a stronger connection somewhere else. And I'm not going to put too much energy into Kia, because in real life, ain't no woman that really want me going to tell me, oh, go ahead, no worries, go and explore your other connections. That absolutely would have been a red flag for me. But because Kevin is so not connected with anything, that completely went over his head. And probably because he doesn't want to have that commitment from anybody right now, because he ain't trying to commit to anyone. So that probably was amazing for him to like hear that. But in real life, it definitely put her in a very like vulnerable state, even though she thought that she, you know, you know how sometimes when you tell a man, it's okay, like, I know you coming home, it's all right, you can go ahead and go out with your friends. As a matter of fact, you don't even gotta call me, boo. Just call me, you know, in the morning or whatever. When you get home from the club, just get some rest and call. No, no. And that's what she was doing. So no.
I saw it as more like the Jedi mind trick on him. Like, she convinced him to say, guess what? Don't feel bad. You don't have, it's no pressure here. You're supposed to have multiple connections. Just come on, just relax, make your decision. It's okay that if you like her a little bit better than me, you can like me too, but you just really got to figure it out what's going on. And I enjoyed Kia's emotional regulation and her insight of the whole situation. However, like I said, I just feel like she was trying to win him over because he was coming out stressed, like, I don't really want to do this. I don't like hurting people. I have 2 kittens. I just don't, I don't know, it's so hard. And she kind of brought him down. She's like, he was like, I do feel better. This wasn't so bad, you know.
And it worked.
It worked, yes.
It worked, which she did absolutely work, you know. But if it was a different kind of man, like I said, it could have been a man where he got that information and he would have been like, oh, so why you trying to leave the door open? Would you got another connection that's stronger? Like, you just trying to leave me, you know what I'm saying? So you just, yeah, absolutely it worked. But, you know.
So now it's Jordan and Amber's time. You know, he baked her some cookies, you know, just to kind of warm her up about the proposal, because he's ready. He's ready. I don't know if the guys got some. Did he make them a separate batch, or did he just make Amber a batch and they got to take 2 or something? But he's just letting her know that, like, he's ready. He's comfortable. Previously, they showed him in a clip saying that his one deal breaker was a woman with a child, and she has a 7-year-old. He said, look at me now. I'm getting paper. Look at me now. We're here. I'm in love. We're ready to do this. And he actually got on one knee and proposed to Amber. And guess what? Amber said yes. You know, but I don't know. With this couple, I just don't know. I feel like I'm not sure about them. I don't know. And can I say, just to say it, that Amber is the oldest 32-year-old I've ever seen in my life. I'm not saying that she's not 32. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. And yeah, I don't know. Like, at this point, when you see her in the scene where she's posing for the, I don't know, the silhouette when they do for Married at First Sight, Amber was like, this is my time. This is my time to shine. Do we got that silhouette? Can we pull it up? Yeah, this is my time. I watched every season of this show, and you're gonna know and feel who I am. You know, she get it together. Like, this is what he gonna see. This is what they gonna freeze. It's all about first impression.
Listen, she was practicing for this moment. She wanted to be on TV, period, point blank. Period.
Yep, she had different looks. Like, I'm gonna give him this and I'm gonna give him that. But Jordan was pretty happy what he saw. When I saw Amber didn't seem too impressed with Jordan's cookies. And I'm not talking about chocolate chip. Oh, she was just like,
I think that's just her face.
What's that? Something else. Okay. You're like, you think she was impressed with him?
I think her first impression was, no, he is absolutely not my type. But it was like she had to get into character. That's what it looked like. Like, let me get it together. Let me get into character. Because the whole posing in front of the screen set it all for me. I was like, oh yeah, she at this point, anybody who, think about it. How many people would she have talked to where they would have been like, oh, you got a kid? Oh, cool. Most people on this show don't have any kids.
Right.
You know, so it's like, when you do find someone that does have a kid, or when you find someone that's, you know, showing you any type of attention to try to move forward with you, and you have a kid, it's like, let me kind of invest myself into this person. You know what I mean? Like, because I may not have another chance with anybody else.
Right.
So, you know, but I don't know. I just think that, let's put it like this, it wasn't given Christine and Vic. So
that's a high bar. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah, well, guess what?
That's what it should look like.
That's what it should look like.
Okay.
Like, what are we doing here?
Okay. So let's go to the next date. We're back on Kevin and Kia. And you know, at this point, like I said, from my point of view, Kia is pretty much Kevin's therapist. She's his dating coach. She's there to reassure him that, hey, it's okay. You don't have to feel bad about this. It's okay. That's why we're here for. We're here for this. This is normal. Don't feel bad. And at this point, maybe Kevin is opening up a bit, because now at this point, he's telling her that, hey, you know, I got a situation. Yeah, I got a situation with my mom. She had a medical situation, and then she got her leg cut off. And I was like, whoa, did we miss a surgery in between the last date? Because Kevin told Tyler that his mom got her foot cut off,
amputated.
Now her leg got cut off. I'm
right.
Like, well, which
we had
one
to
is
go
it?
back and rewind it. Like, are we wrong? Like, did we hear something?
Yeah. So, you know, let it, and you know, Kid's gonna be Kid, and like, you know, that's just, your mom sounds so bomb, and she's dope, and she's a fighter, and you're a champion, and she's a champion. And actually, when I get back home, I'm gonna just find and see if we can get her a new leg and all that kind of stuff. You know, she's a support system, and that's what it is. And that's what it is. That's what it is. But you know, at this point, all this is still going on, because in Tyler's mind, they supposed to be over, because she get engaged.
Yeah.
And she like, they in there kind of a long time. I'm up next. What's going on?
Because we're supposed to get engaged tomorrow.
Right, exactly.
So what we doing?
Yeah, she's very concerned. She's about like, this ain't sounding right. She's like, maybe he gonna break up with me. And at this point, Tyler's like 4 hours in, and she's sick of it already. She turns up the heat on Kevin. Like, she go in there and she want concrete answers. You know, and what all Kevin has to offer, like, oh, he's so stressed out. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, this is so weird. Oh God, you know, I don't know what to do. And Tyler has no patience for that. She don't want an indecisive man. And at this point, Kevin is he just doesn't know what to do. He just doesn't. And he doesn't even realize why he's speaking to Tyler. She is breaking up with him in real time right now. And he's like, no, just, I don't, she's already gone out the door. And then he started talking to the wall, and knowing that she gone. I wasn't saying I was picking someone. I wasn't picking someone. It was just that she's had it with him. She's done. She's gone. What do you think about her decision to break up with him, even though he didn't know they were breaking up?
Now, even though I said what I said about Kia, Tyler is just out of control. Okay. By the time we get to this scene, honey, Kia is looking like the queen. Kia is looking like she is just full of class. And Tyler really has made Kia look amazing at this point, because Tyler is seeming very unhinged. She's seeming very like, if you're not gonna pick me, then this is it. Like, it's my way or the highway. Like, this is it. Like, I'm over. Yeah, I don't want nobody to play about me. And I get it. And guess what? In the real world, I would have been like, yeah, girl, yeah. But you are on a dating show, on a reality television show that you signed up, where these people can date 16 other women. What are we doing? Like, I understand, but like, give the man a little bit of grace. You know what I'm saying? Because what if it was you? What if the shoe was on your foot and you had 4 connections and you was trying to pick between 4 amazing men? Like what? And then your number one connection was like, yeah, well, if you can't choose me, if you can't pick me, then this is a wrap. This is a wrap. And you like, wait a minute. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, she absolutely didn't give him any grace. So it definitely made Kia look more favorable, I'm sure, in his eyes. But it also showed me that he really did have a stronger connection with Tyler, because even after all that she pulled, he still was kind of like, dang, like I think I just lost my girlfriend.
Mhm.
Like he was hurt.
lost. Yeah,
He was
done. Like,
upset.
wow,
You know
I
what I'm
wasn't saying
saying?
that.
Yeah,
I didn't want to
like
break up.
somebody go get her. I wasn't trying to. No, she can't break up with me. No, not today. Not today. Okay. So yeah, I just felt like that. I wish she would have given him just a little bit more grace, just been a little bit more patient, because it's just a different situation. You know what I mean? So she was acting out of emotion. I wish she wasn't emotional in this sense, but I hope that she was able to watch this scene back in real life and understand, like, you can't move with emotion sometimes in your life. Sometimes you have to really step back and really be logical about the situation, because every situation is going to be different. And this is one of the times when it was different.
And that's the end of the episode. So as we know, we have 6 episodes already produced. So our goal is to, we like to try to do 2 episodes at a time. That's our goal. So we cleared 1 and 2. Now we have 3 through 6 to do. So on that note, we got some work to do. we gotta get Kevin's woman back. She's gone. We gotta find out if all the engagements are working. Is Jordan still baking chocolate chip cookies for his woman?
And I hope Emma has gone home by now, because she needs to go somewhere.
She needs to go. Emma got the men on her line. She dropped one. She dumped one and got 2 more she got to work with. She still working with Mike and Con. So
she need to go heal somewhere, honey.
All right. Well, I guess we'll close out on just, join us on the next episode. And we will be doing episodes 3 and 4 for Love is Blind, season 10.
See you then. Please, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you like this video. If you are new here to our Sabrina and Jdub channel, please subscribe. We have so much more great content coming up. Yeah, so we're going to be doing, hopefully we're not going to be doing traders, guys, just to let you know. We've said it, but we're not going to do it. Just because it's only 3 episodes left. Hopefully the next season we'll be able to review that. Love and Marriage Huntsville is coming back. So many great shows are coming back. And yeah, we're going to be on this too. All right. Anyway, we love you so much, guys. I hope you had a great Valentine's Day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.